Welcome to Talk Law Radio with attorney Todd Marquardt of the Marquardt Law Firm at marquardtlawfirm.com.
Welcome back to Talk Law Radio. I'm Todd Marquardt here with Steve Warren with Financial Planning HQ. And we're on the radio. We'll be on Facebook Live. We'll be on YouTube. And so, Steve, today, January 24th, 2026, it's predicted to freeze overnight. There's supposed to be some freezing rain. And so I think tomorrow, when everybody's stuck at home, that would be a great time to go to YouTube and watch all of our YouTube videos. You've given several dozen, probably by now, financial focus segments with Jacob giving some of them and Joseph giving some of them. So they can learn a lot just from watching those videos.
Absolutely. And they're very entertaining as well, I think.
Okay. So last segment, I was asking Steve about how to define a comprehensive lifetime financial strategy. And he's mentioned the roadmap before, and we just thought it was a good time to discuss that in more detail as well. You offered to have a meeting with people to go over a roadmap. Tell us what that meeting's like.
Yeah, absolutely. First of all, the financial roadmap document is a physical document, and it's 17 by 22 inches, so it's rather large. So that meeting is an experience that I facilitate, and I actually serve as a facilitator and a scribe, if you will. And I ask great questions, and what I want to do is to get the client's vision for how they might operate in the future. And that's what the financial roadmap is all about. It's really the vision, goals that require money and planning to achieve. This is where I'm at currently. In that meeting, which takes about an hour to complete, I don't do a lot of talking. So I ask great questions, and I take notes. And at the conclusion of that meeting, potential clients, even if they don't become clients, they do experience a breakthrough of clarity of some type. Because now they have, if it's husband and wife, they have a shared vision for how they might operate moving forward. And part of the vision, I do that individually. So if it's husband and wife, it'll be the husband that'll articulate the things that are important to him and what his vision is. And what's really neat is his spouse gets to listen to the answers. And no advisor has ever asked these questions before.
Right.
And so it's an interesting experience. And then the reverse happens. So the spouse gets to, talk about what things are important to her and what her vision is. That document crystallizes a shared vision.
That's great. I think that not many financial advisors do that. I met with an advisor several years ago with my wife, and his premise was retirement. And so his opening question is, when do you want to retire? Okay. And I said, I don't. And my wife looks at me and says, why not? I thought we were going to travel. Mm-hmm. And I said, I don't want to travel. I want to work. I want to help my clients achieve peace of mind through estate planning and leave a great legacy that people will remember and achieve great things. And the advisor looked at me and said, I don't think we can work together. And I said, I don't think so either. Because his whole premise was that I was going to retire.
Yeah.
And I think I can't think of anything worse than just not having anything to do.
Yeah.
I love my clients.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, unless you did a lot of volunteer work. And, what if the question might have been, Todd, what's important about money to you? And then you articulate that. Since
Yeah.
our role is to help our clients make smart choices about their money,
Right.
if we started there and kind of built up and learned about what your vision is, I know you would have articulated what was important to you,
Right.
right? Your clients are important to you, and building your business, your practice, and helping others with their estate planning. Eventually, you would have probably talked about that, but it would have started, from there
Right.
and built up from there.
But it's probably not helpful for the financial advisor just to assume they know what somebody's life objectives are.
Absolutely not. I mean, how can you do something like that? Like kind of push off your own, what I feel should be important to you. What we do is to ask you
Right.
what's important to you, because your vision is going to be unique. Your wife's vision is going to be unique. Everything you mention is going to be as unique as your fingerprints.
Right.
And everybody's different.
I think that's really mind-blowing, probably for all those financial planners out there listening to the show, because they don't do that. They're taught from their upper management, everybody has to retire, and you want them to start putting their retirement with you.
Yeah, absolutely. Or, I want to offer you a financial product like an annuity or insurance or things like that.
Right.
Yeah, as I mentioned earlier, most of the industry is assets under management and charging a percentage for that. And I'm going to be bold and also say to do as little as possible. I think that's just the mindset. The standards of the industry have nosedived over the past 25 years. A CFP, used to be able to know exactly what a comprehensive written lifetime financial strategy is 25 years ago and what that document looks like and what's in it. It's lesser known now.
Right.
And so the industry has become accustomed to lower standards. And that's why I say do as little as possible. But yet I'm okay because I'm making 1% off whatever you have with me.
Right. So that could be a mistake if you're paying somebody 1% of your portfolio and you don't really know what they're doing. Are they giving you any value for that?
Yeah, and if people knew that in dollars and cents, then they could think to themselves, okay, so I'm paying $28,000 to my advisor in fees. What am I getting for that? What value am I receiving? Is it just wealth management? What about all the rest? What about the legal part of it? What about the tax part of it? What about the goal planning? What about the financial plan? What about all the insurance that exists? Do I have the right type, the right amount of every type of insurance that exists?
Yeah, so if the wealth manager or the money manager is getting their client a 15% return on their investments, but then they're being burned alive in income taxes, that maybe they're not doing as well as they think.
Yeah, because there isn't the coordination with the tax discipline. And something might have been sold towards the end of the year, and now the client has an $80,000 tax bill.
Have you seen that?
Yes.
Well, that would probably scare somebody to death.
Absolutely.
So in the news today, if you're living in Texas, it's going to be quite cold. And so people have been planning. You've probably heard about this in the news or read about it online. A lot of people went to the grocery store and they bought toilet paper and water. Can you relate that to financial planning? I mean, is that a comprehensive plan, having toilet paper and water to survive during this freeze?
No, it seems more siloed actually than a comprehensive plan. So, people, the media just sort of hypes things up a little bit, and people maybe get a little worried about, especially what happened 5 years ago, and people were buying all that toilet paper and stuff.
What they should be buying is maybe a home generator, so that they can have electricity for the refrigerator. Because I remember years ago when that happened, we didn't have power, and so the refrigerator wasn't on. And so we took the milk outside because it was colder outside than it was inside the house.
Yeah.
And so we were able to preserve some things, for longer. But the generator, that's a bigger part of the safety plan than the toilet paper is.
Yeah, I think so, because you're able to continue to heat your home and keep things cold, like you mentioned. You might have beer in the refrigerator and it's getting warm.
Right.
And then, you got to take it outside.
Yeah. So I just wondered if the audience has any comment on preparing for a freeze, whether it's 1 day or 1 week. See, we don't know if the grid is going to be able to heat everybody's homes. Mm-hmm. And so what's going to happen on Monday and Tuesday? If you have comments or questions for Steve or for me right now, January 24th, 2026, you can call 210-308-8867, 210-308-8867. I also want to talk about the March for Life held in Washington, D.C. yesterday on January 23rd. And today, there's a life rally in Austin from, I think, 1 to 3 or 1 to 4 p.m. You can stream that online if you don't want to go to Austin. But what's curious to me is I was trying to find out if Houston had a march or a rally for life, and I couldn't find any news about it. And I was searching X, Twitter, Facebook, I was searching Google, and I didn't find anything. And the show's on in Houston. And so if you're in Houston and you know about a march or a rally that actually occurred already or that is scheduled for the future, please call the show, 210-308-8867. It just surprises me that in a city of 9 million people that nobody's done that yet. In San Antonio, we had one on January 17th. I didn't go, but I was able to read about it in the news. Mm-hmm. And I also want to figure this out, Steve. I've been reading and seeing on the news all of the terrible things that are happening with protesters and riots against ICE, Immigration Customs Enforcement, and Border Protection. And I'm looking for a story where one of these pro-life people, rammed somebody with their car, or whether they were blocking traffic, or just some terrible thing, because I haven't seen anything in the news where a pro-life person has done some of the things that the protesters of the immigration enforcement have.
Yeah, I have not seen anything like that either. And
tell me what you think of. Oh, we have to wrap up. I'm sorry. We'll talk about it more after the break. This is Talk Law Radio. We'll be right back.
This has been Talk Law Radio with attorney Todd Marquardt, brought to you by the Marquardt Law Firm. You can learn more at marquardtlawfirm.com. And be sure to listen to the full Talk Law Radio show Saturday mornings at 11 on 9:30 a.m. The Answer.
Most families don't realize they have hidden legal blind spots until it's too late. Wills, trusts, Medicaid planning, even protecting a business. These are the kinds of issues attorney Todd Marquardt helps uncover before they become problems. Todd is the host of Talk Law Radio, where each week he guides listeners through the legal challenges families, veterans, and business owners face, while showing them the practical steps to protect what matters most. Catch Talk Law Radio, Saturdays at 11 a.m. on 9:30 a.m. The Answer, 6:30 a.m. The Word, and now in Houston on AM 1070 and 103.3 FM The Answer, or anytime on YouTube. Planning isn't just about documents. It's about peace of mind, security for loved ones, and building a legacy that lasts. Don't wait for a crisis. Do it before you die.